Tonight, a shocking studio mutiny is rocking the entertainment industry after millions of viewers witnessed what many are calling the most controversial voting anomaly in modern television history. As the house lights finally went dark on the grand finale of Britain's Got Talent Season 19 on the evening of May 30, 2026, the atmosphere inside the studio turned completely hostile. A powerhouse vocalist who had spent the entire season breaking television tracking records was suddenly announced as the fourth-place finisher, leaving the live audience in absolute stunned silence before a wave of fury erupted across global social networks. This wasn't just a standard loss. It was an explosive cultural moment that instantly triggered a massive wave of allegations regarding how the final tallies were handled. Our investigative team has been tracking the immediate fallout, and what we uncovered points to a deep, systemic conflict between corporate streaming interests and raw, organic public support. The central figure of this media storm is an international sensation whose journey has been plagued by corporate resistance from day one. While casual viewers are just now waking up to the drama, industry insiders suggest that this heartbreaking finale might actually be the climax of a long-standing, silent effort by mainstream executives to suppress a voice that refuses to conform to traditional marketing models. Tonight, we break down the hidden timelines, the unverified rumors, and the tactical maneuvers that led to this historic media standoff. We begin with a trip back to 2019, diving into the dark, unverified whispers of an industry blacklist that allegedly doomed a rising star before he ever left his homeland. Long before capturing the attention of the European market, was a dominant force on Idol Philippines, advancing rapidly into the coveted top 16 with a vocal range that left veteran judges thoroughly speechless. However, archival data and reports from local entertainment stringers indicate that behind the scenes, a completely different narrative was playing out. Rumors suggest that a select group of prominent talent managers had quietly labeled the young performer as entirely unsellable for mainstream pop radio, allegedly citing his heavy 240-pound frame and unconventional visual presentation as major liabilities. When his sudden, shocking elimination occurred, it sent shockwaves through the local fan base, sparking immediate theories that the exit was orchestrated by executive decree rather than a lack of public support. Unverified statements from production assistants at the time claimed that the local music industry completely turned its back on him, leaving the artist to battle severe emotional lows and a deeply shattered sense of professional confidence. Sources close to his inner circle indicate he spent months in complete isolation, reportedly believing he was cursed to remain a permanent singing competition casualty. Yet this brutal rejection would ultimately serve as the catalyst for a high-stakes, international reinvention. Our investigation has uncovered a fascinating theory circulating among music theorists who claim the artist didn't just audition. He allegedly laid a brilliant psychological trap for, following his devastating exit from the domestic circuit, reports claim spent years analyzing the structural mechanics of reality television, decoding the specific audio-visual triggers that influence elite executive decisions. Internet speculation suggests he engineered a high-retention vocal strategy designed to exploit the specific biases of the judging panel. Rather than entering the stage with an aggressive, overconfident posture, the strategy required a display of profound humility, masking his true technical capabilities during the initial interview segment. By intentionally lowering the panel's expectations, the subsequent vocal delivery of Prince's Purple Rain created a massive cognitive shift in the room, forcing an overwhelming emotional response. Production insiders claim that this calculated packing was precisely what caught the executive producers completely off guard, leaving them with no choice but to react impulsively to the crowd's soaring energy. While some critics argue this theory credits the artist with an unrealistic level of calculation, data analysts point out that his performance metrics perfectly align with the exact algorithmic spikes needed to trigger maximum viewer retention on global digital platforms. But the road to this moment was paved with extreme secrecy, forcing the vocalist into a period of complete anonymity hidden deep within the Scottish underground. In 2022, completely vanished from the Southeast Asian media landscape, relocating to the United Kingdom under a cloud of absolute silence. Investigative tracking confirms he enrolled at the prestigious Royal Conservatoire in Glasgow, Scotland, but his life outside the lecture halls was defined by intense financial hardship and grueling physical labor. To maintain his residency and cover basic living expenses, the former television star took a position as a part-time restaurant waiter, spending long, exhausting shifts on his feet while enduring the harsh, freezing Scottish winters. Those who interacted with him during this period report that he lived a stark double life, balancing elite classical theater training with the humbling reality of customer service. Unverified reports suggest the psychological toll of this transition was immensely severe, as the artist constantly battled intense waves of self-doubt and isolation far from his family. Yet, vocal coaches note that it was during these anonymous, late-night practice sessions in empty rehearsal rooms that his lower register developed the raw, gritty resonance that would eventually break the British broadcasting system. The story takes an unprecedented turn when a historic double protocol breach on live television triggered a fierce legal and administrative debate behind the scenes. When stepped onto the national stage for the live semifinals, his performance of Dream On hit a series of astronomical notes that completely shattered the show's traditional framework. In an act that shocked television executives, Holden bypassed standard voting regulations and slammed her golden buzzer, making one of the only contestants in the history of the global franchise to secure a double golden pass in a single season. This unprecedented event immediately triggered a massive wave of controversy across the entertainment sector. Rival management agencies and television purists instantly filed informal complaints, claiming that this double validation provided the artist with an unfair structural advantage, essentially hijacking the public voting pool and creating an unlevel playing field for local talent. Network executives reportedly held emergency meetings to discuss the legal implications of the broadcast, as the digital comments sections turned into an absolute between international supporters and domestic critics who demanded a strict enforcement of the original rules. Everything culminated just hours ago on May 30th, when an unexpected data discrepancy in the public polling left an entire fan base claiming a global star was flat-out robbed. Despite entering the grand finale as the absolute favorite according to digital metrics and international streaming data, the final voting sequence saw pushed down into a shocking fourth-place finish, losing the title to a traditional regional choir. The immediate fallout was nothing short of chaotic, as furious viewers posted screenshots alleging that regional and localized voting blocks had severely restricted international fans from casting their ballots. While media commentators scrambled to defend the integrity of the voting system, executed a brilliant PR maneuver that completely shifted the narrative. He posted a highly calculated, lighthearted response on social media, jokingly stating that a fourth-place finish was a massive victory because it directly aligned with his birth date. This casual demeanor left industry journalists incredibly puzzled, until independent entertainment reporters uncovered that a massive counter-corporate contract had already been signed in total secrecy prior to the finale broadcast. But as the curtain falls on the television studio, a sudden high-stakes counterstrike in London's elite theatre district proves that losing the trophy might have been part of the plan all along. Our investigative desk has confirmed that this coming June will bypass the restrictive, traditional recording contracts typically handed down to reality show winners by making his official West End debut. He has been cast in the incredibly demanding role of Annas in the highly anticipated revival of Jesus Christ Superstar, a position that requires an elite, incredibly rare countertenor vocal range that very few performers on Earth can physically sustain. By transitioning directly into elite theatrical royalty, the artist has effectively circumvented the standard industry gatekeepers who once labeled him unsellable back in 2019. This strategic pivot has left media analysts wondering if the entire television run was merely a brilliant marketing vehicle designed to establish global brand equity without entering a predatory corporate record deal. Ultimately, the investigation reveals a profound truth about the modern entertainment landscape. A technical loss on a reality television scoreboard can be weaponized into an absolute cultural victory, proving that when the system tries to dictate your worth, the ultimate move is to simply build a stage of your own.